There's a moment in every cat owner's life when they stop and wonder if their cat truly loves them, or if the affection they see is just convenience disguised as companionship. But what if I told you that some of the most ordinary things your cat does, things you probably overlook every day, are actually the strongest proof that your bond is far deeper than you realize? I've spent years observing feline behavior, and what I've discovered is that cats have their own silent language of intimacy, one that most humans fail to understand. Today, I'll reveal the small, almost invisible gestures that show when a cat has chosen you as part of its inner world. These are not random habits. They are coded signs of trust, comfort, and attachment that few people ever learn to recognize. And once you do, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. Before we go any further, think about this. How many of your cat's daily actions do you really pay attention to? How many of them might actually be secret declarations of affection? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and you'll realize your cat has been telling you something beautiful all along. Most people think a cat's love is hard to earn, that they are distant by nature or emotionally detached. But the truth is far more fascinating. Cats do form deep bonds. They just express them in ways that are subtle, sometimes even invisible to the untrained eye. What looks like indifference can actually be one of the most powerful signs of trust. And the worst part is that most people never realize it, so they miss the chance to strengthen a bond that could last a lifetime. In the next moments, you'll discover the behaviors that quietly reveal when a cat sees you as part of its inner world. Some of these signs are so unexpected that even experienced owners overlook them. But once you recognize them, you'll start to see your cat not as a mystery, but a companion who has been communicating affection in silence all along.
The first behavior that shows your cat is closer to you than you think is when it allows you to witness its moments of vulnerability, especially the ones it would normally hide. Cats are masters of disguise when it comes to weakness. In the wild, any sign of discomfort or fatigue can make them a target. That's why most cats instinctively seek isolation when they feel unwell or anxious. But when a cat chooses to remain near you during those moments, it's expressing the deepest form of trust possible. This behavior is rarely discussed because it's subtle and easily misunderstood. You might notice your cat staring at you quietly before settling down when it feels uneasy, or even choosing to sleep near you after a stressful event like a loud noise or a vet visit. That's not coincidence, it's emotional seeking. It's your cat's way of saying, "I feel safer when you're here." And in feline psychology, that's monumental. Some cats even show this through stillness rather than affection. They won't always come to be petted. Instead, they'll stay close enough to feel your presence. That's their version of emotional regulation. They're borrowing your calmness, your scent, your energy. When a cat chooses to let you see it vulnerable, eyes half closed, body unguarded, no pretense of control, it's no longer a pet owner dynamic. It's trust stripped to its core. It means you've become more than its companion. You've become its safe place. The second behavior that shows your cat is closer to you than you think is when it starts to vocalize differently only in your presence. Most owners assume that meowing is simply a demand for food or attention, but few realize that adult cats rarely use vocal sounds with other cats. In nature, meowing is almost exclusively a communication reserved for humans. And when a cat develops new tones, rhythms, or subtle phrases that it doesn't use with anyone else, it's creating a personal dialect, one built only for you. Behavioral researchers have observed that cats living in long-term emotional bonds with their owners often develop unique vocal patterns that no one else can interpret correctly. It's not training, it's adaptation. Your cat learns which frequencies catch your attention, which sounds you respond to faster, and which tones make you speak back. In a sense, it's shaping a private language that reflects the emotional rhythm of your relationship.
That means every time your cat emits that soft half meow or strange trill when you enter a room, it's not just communication, it's recognition. It knows it's you. It's speaking differently because you've become part of its learned environment, a social partner it's chosen to understand and be understood by. So when you hear that familiar, oddly personal sound that no one else seems to notice, realize that you're listening to something most people will never experience. A conversation shaped by trust, time, and emotional closeness.
The third behavior that shows your cat is closer to you than you think is when it exposes its back to you while walking away. Most people misinterpret this as indifference or rejection, assuming the cat simply lost interest. But to a cat, turning its back is one of the highest demonstrations of confidence it can give. In feline social codes, to expose the spine is to show total vulnerability. It's the opposite of what a cat would do with something it fears or distrusts. When your cat walks ahead of you, tail slightly upright and relaxed, it's silently saying, "I don't need to watch you to feel safe." In a wild setting, this behavior is reserved for companions within a stable group, cats that share a sense of territory and mutual protection. So when your cat does this inside your home, it's treating you as part of that same trusted circle. This gesture also has a secondary meaning that almost no one talks about: leadership recognition. Cats respect spatial hierarchy, and when one walks ahead with its back turned, it's subtly guiding, not rejecting. By letting you follow, it acknowledges a shared dynamic, one where trust flows in both directions. The next time your cat walks away calmly instead of facing you, notice that it's not leaving you behind. It's showing that your presence is safe enough to ignore, and in the world of cats, that's as intimate as it gets. The fourth behavior that shows your cat is closer to you than you think is when it starts to copy your daily rhythm without you noticing. Cats are creatures of precision. They're ruled by instinct and routine. But when a cat begins adjusting its habits, like waking up when you do, following you from room to room at specific times, or eating only after you sit down, it's not coincidence. It's synchronization. This subtle alignment is something ethologists call social mirroring, a behavior seen only in animals that have formed deep social bonds with their companions. For cats, which are naturally solitary hunters, synchronizing their rhythm with yours means they've mentally integrated you into their social structure. You're no longer just a provider, you're part of their environment, part of their emotional timing. Most owners miss this completely because it happens quietly. They think their cat is just curious or clingy, but what's actually happening is profound. Your cat is adjusting its internal clock to match your presence. That's an instinct reserved for survival partners, not strangers. When your cat's movements begin to echo your routine, it's not dependency, it's connection. It means your presence has become a reference point of safety and stability, something that even time starts to revolve around.
The fifth behavior that shows your cat is closer to you than you think is when it chooses to rest near you, but not necessarily on you. Most people believe that a cat lying on their lap is the ultimate sign of affection. Yet in feline language, proximity without physical contact speaks volumes. When a cat positions itself near you, within arm's reach, often facing away or in a half-sleep state, it's displaying what behaviorists call relaxed vigilance. This means it feels so safe in your presence that it can let its guard down while still being aware of its surroundings. In nature, cats only rest near those they trust deeply because sleeping is their most vulnerable state. By choosing to do this beside you, your cat is silently saying, "I feel protected here." It's not seeking constant touch, it's seeking emotional presence, the kind of quiet companionship that, in feline logic, defines family. If you've ever noticed your cat curling up nearby while pretending not to care, that's the moment it's acknowledging you as part of its inner circle. And once a cat grants you that level of silent closeness, it rarely takes it back. Every small behavior your cat shows carries meaning. Every pause, every quiet moment of trust, every choice to stay near you when it could be anywhere else. Those are not coincidences. They're signals of a relationship that most people never notice, but that your cat feels deeply. The truth is, once a cat chooses you, it begins to build an entire emotional language around that choice. You become part of its inner world, the one it doesn't share easily with anyone else. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. There are moments when cats blur the line between who we are and who they think we are. Times when they treat humans not as humans, but as if we were another cat, part of their own kind. These moments are so subtle that most owners completely miss them, yet they explain why cats sometimes act in ways that seem confusing, affectionate, or even contradictory. And understanding these moments changes everything about how you see your cat. So before you go, click on the video that just appeared on your screen and discover what really happens when your cat starts seeing you as one of its own. What you'll learn there might completely change the way you understand your cat's mind forever.